What up, gang? I am your host, Charger LB the Realist. Here again with another video on the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers here at Bolt Gang Central. And it was a tough one. I'm not even gonna lie. It was tough to watch. It was so tough. It was so tough. I had to take a 4-day break. I had to take a 4-day break to just kind of process everything that happened, all right, and to kind of gather my thoughts together to formulate a proper thought to properly conclude this season. Because, wow, Herbert being tossed all around, looked like a rag doll, man, just all on the ground, hurting in pain. Herbert was sacked 6 times.
What?
By the New England Patriots. 6 times? Not a good pass rush, my ass. What? What? 6 times. I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, man. Wow. Mind you, this was the matchup that Charger fans wanted. Charger fans were excited for this matchup. Why? Because they said, well, New England's pass rush isn't that great. And Herbert gets hit more than any other quarterback in the NFL. So maybe this is a potentially good matchup. The New England Patriot fans had the exact same thought. They were like, you know what? The Chargers are the Chargers. So this is a good matchup for us because that's how the rest of the league thinks. You know, it's the Chargers. You feel me? So, and it sucks because moments like this doesn't do anything for that narrative. Moments like this just continues the narrative, just continues the trash talking, just continues everything that we've been trying to get away from so desperately as Charger fans. But here we go. Before I get into this, let me take a short break and I'll be right with you. All right, so it is now Thursday, January 15th, 2026. 4 days ago, the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers traveled from the West Coast in LA to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. In which case, the New England Patriots actually pretty much, I mean, I wouldn't say they demolished the Chargers. I wouldn't say they wiped the floor with the Chargers. But I will say the better team won. Let's just call it what it is. The better team won that day. And the better team that day was the New England Patriots. They beat the Los Angeles Chargers, the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers, 16-3. And for the most part, it was very heavy on New England's side. They ruled the time of possession. They scored the most points. They did the most damage. And they ultimately won the game. So, first and foremost, I want to congratulate the New England Patriots team, the organization, and the fandom. Congratulations. No hate, no shame, none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You guys played a great game. Drake May is very talented. The New England Patriots are very talented. There was a reason why the record was 14-3. All right. Now, Chargers or Charger fans heading into this had the belief that, well, the New England Patriots really didn't face off against any good teams besides like the Bills and the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? So this was a really good test for them going up against one of the league's top premier defenses in the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers. And the defense for the Chargers did not disappoint for the most part. Yes, there was some plays given up, but for the most part, again, the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers held this team, the Patriots, the New England Patriots, to just 16 points. Held the Houston Texans to just, I believe, 19 points. Another loss that we had, another terrible loss. And the Denver Broncos, I'm forgetting exactly what the score was. It may have been 21, but it was 21 below that. So again, The Chargers defense is holding up. They are doing their job. They are holding up their end of the bargain. Why isn't the offense keeping up? Why isn't the offense up to par with the defense? Justin Herbert actually said during a press briefing after the loss on Sunday, and I believe he said it multiple times, that him and the offense let the defense down. And he is absolutely correct. They did. Absolutely 100% let the defense down. They let the fans down. They let the organization down. But most of all, they let themselves down. Justin Herbert let himself down. The offense let Justin Herbert down, as well as let themselves down, because they were not playing up to par. Justin Herbert, for whatever reason, did not have his head in the game. He was not that dog that he has been so consistently throughout this regular season. For whatever reason, he got into this playoff game and he just started fumbling, literally. I think he fumbled twice. One time, luckily, shout out Kimani Vidal, ended up getting the ball back and also running for a first down on that one. So shout out Kimani. He was the one piece of positivity that we had other than the defense in regards to this game. And to keep it real, Kimani didn't do too much. What did Kimani have? He had 11 carries for 31 yards, 2.8 yards a carry. So not particularly great, not particularly awful, just not enough. It's not enough, like Kendrick says. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough to watch, man. It was really tough to watch. Disappointed, discouraged, disenfranchised, just dissed all around, just dissed. Our boy, our MVP, most valuable player, Justin Herbert, is now 0-3 in the playoffs. Now, before I made another video, and I said in the video that, he's 0-2, and it could happen. He could have been 2-0. He could have been 1-1. But unfortunately, he's 0-2. And now, unfortunately, he's 0-3. So this does not do anything, like I said in the beginning, it does not do anything for the narrative. It does not do anything as far as ceasing everyone, talking the amount of crap that they talk, or having any belief in Justin Herbert. It's bad. It's it's going to be another bad offseason for Charger fans as far as listening to sports pundits and Justin Herbert and Charger critics alike, such as Nick Wright and the boys in the game. So it is what it is. We just got to deal with it until Justin Herbert specifically, and the offense specifically, and the offensive line specifically, until they are up to par, until they are able to match the energy and the intensity and the aggressiveness of the defense. We will continue to have these conversations. We will continue to have to defend Justin Herbert or not, because there's a lot of people right now, a lot of people in the Charger fandom that are very discouraged with Justin right now. And I would say, they have a case to make. I will say that I'm not going to go as far as to call Justin Herbert a bum like some other people. I'm not going to go as far as to say that Justin Herbert is never going to win a playoff game, because I think that thought is just ridiculous. Ha! I'm not going to go as far as those people, but I will say that Justin Herbert did not play his best game. And if there's any blame to go around, it's most importantly falls on the coaches. It starts at the top. Number two, obviously, the offensive line. That's been an issue all season, even in preseason, before preseason started. That was an issue last year when we had both of our best tackles playing and not injured. But I would say also part of the blame goes to Justin Herbert. So the coaches, the offensive line, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert being the less of that equation, although there were some moments where he absolutely should have made a play. He absolutely should have put the team on his back and made something happen. And so many times he tried. I mean, he had, let me see. I think he had 57 rushing yards. Justin Herbert had 57 rushing yards Unfortunately, there were two fumbles. One he was able to get back. Kimani got it back, and then another one, unfortunately, the Patriots defense, one of the defenders actually scooped it up and ran it down for a touchdown. So, unfortunately, those are the facts. Now, given all of this information, we obviously feel like, and we've been feeling like there absolutely needs to be something done because this cannot continue. We cannot have a superstar coach and Coach Harbaugh come to this team, have with a superstar quarterback in Justin Herbert, nailing everything in the draft and the trades, and just having such success in that department, and having such a great organization with such a developing, winning, and exciting culture. We cannot have all this and continue on the trajectory that we are. Something has to change. And fortunately for us, things have already begun to take a turn in the positive. So I'm going to start by, we're going to start with, because there's good and bad news in regards to this, right? Good and bad takeaways. We're going to start with the bad takeaways first, because there's only, on my list, there's only a couple. Now, if there's more bad takeaways or negatives in regards to this situation, please put it in the comment section. This is our time to let it all out. Let me know how you feel. Let's let each other know how we feel about this, and really come together as a fandom and as an organization. So let's start with the bad takeaways first, and then we'll get into the good takeaways, because there's actually a few of them, and they have me very optimistic. Not only optimistic, but really positive going forward for this next season of 2026. So let's go. Let's start. Here we go. Number one, bad takeaway. We lost in the first round of the playoffs again. Justin Herbert is 0-3 in the playoffs again. And our season is over. Just like that. It was one and done, and our season is over. So it is what it is, but it is what it is. And there's no punchline to that. Now, there's things that we have to do, things that we have to address, and we absolutely will. But those are still the facts. We are one and done in the playoffs again, yet again. Justin Herbert is 0-3 in the playoffs. Second piece of bad news, which is the second and last piece of bad news on my bad news list or bad takeaway list, is that the hate and the narrative surrounding the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers being the chokers and, chargering again, not being able to get the job done, not being able to get the W. And we're going to have to continue with the narrative that Justin Herbert is not up to the task of winning football games postseason. That somehow Justin Herbert's a bum. Somehow Justin Herbert is overhyped. He's overpraised. And he's not top 10, let alone top 5 quarterbacks in the league. So we're going to have to continue to deal with these narratives surrounding Justin, surrounding the Chargers, surrounding the fandom and everything. Because yet again, we came up short. Yet again, we have yet to prove, anything against that narrative. In the regular season, I think we did absolutely great. We did wonderful, if you ask me, winning season. And that goes into the positives and the good news and the good takeaways in regards to all of this, in regards to losing in the playoffs. I mean, losing in the playoffs is never good. I don't want to make it sound like it's ever a good thing, but I will say that there are some positives in regards to this. So now that we got the negatives out the way, let's go ahead and talk about some of the positives. Number one, the defense was on fire, baby. The defense continues to deliver time and time again. Like I said, yes, there were some plays that the defense dropped. There were some plays, some blown coverages or whatever. But for the most part, the defense did their job. For the most part, the defense did what they were supposed to do. They kept the Patriots to only 16 points. A high-scoring offense like the New England Patriots only scored 16 points against the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers. I think that deserves a round of applause. I think that deserves to be commended, that deserves praise and all of that, because our defense under defensive coordinator Jesse Minter has been stellar, has been elite. Aside from maybe the Houston Texans, I think we have the best defense in all of the league. We have the best defense in all of the league. And again, that goes credit to Jesse Minter, which actually goes into a bit of negative news and bad news as well that I kind of forgot off the list. So let me go ahead, now that I'm thinking about it now, let me add that to the list of bad things. Number one was we lost in the first round of the playoffs. Number two, the hate and the narrative surrounding the Chargers and Justin Herbert continues. And I'll add number three, we are potentially losing defensive coordinator Jesse Minter.
What?
And that is not going to be a good thing as far as the future of this defense goes. So we have to prepare for that one, all right? Because he's that good. He's going to get a head coaching job somewhere. Right now, there's 8 teams with head coaches, or there's 8 teams with a head coach opening, and he's most likely going to get one of those jobs. Now, by some chance, by some miracle, he stays. Great. Let's make sure that we deliver on this extra year of borrowed time with Jesse Minter, because he's not going to be a coordinator for long. All right. He's going to be a head coach. All right. So we'll add that to the bad news list, but also there's also some more good news. So let's get back into the good news. Now, we said number one piece of good news, defense was on fire and continues to be on fire. Held the Patriots to 16 points. So we have to celebrate that. We have to celebrate them. Like I said, Justin Herbert came out in a press briefing, and said that he and the offense let the defense down. And I absolutely agree, because they were playing lights out. And if the offense could have played up to par, if they could have done their job, we could have won the game and the defense wouldn't have had to play as hard. But unfortunately, like I said, it is what it is. Now, good news number two. We left the season, that season, football season, relatively unscathed. Now, I say that fully aware of our injury history. I'm saying, aside from the injuries that we already know about, we left relatively unscathed. I'm saying, like, Justin Herbert did kind of hurt himself in that last game, but nothing major that I'm aware of. And nobody else got injured in any major way that I'm aware of. Of course, Darius Davis is still dealing with whatever he's dealing with. Omarion Hampton is still dealing with his ankle injury. But at least Omarion was able to be active for the game. And he actually got a snap or two in before they pulled him, because I think he got like negative yardage on that run. But he was there for a little bit, right? So we are dealing with injuries, but there's nothing major outside of the major injuries that we're already aware of. Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, Omarion Hampton, Najee Harris. Khalil Mack he's been better every single game. So that's another piece of good news going into next season, because we're going to need everybody to return healthy and 100% ready to go by the time the season starts, by the time we kick off in July for training camp. So another piece of good news, everyone should be healthy by the time training camp starts, including Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, God willing. All right. So piece of good news number 3, we now know what needs to be done. This whole season, this postseason was almost like a test, almost like a trial run. Like, we know what needs to be done now. We know how bad the O-line is. Historically bad. Like, no punchline to that. Everyone historically bad. We know that is the number one priority heading into next season. Or I should say heading into preseason, or headed into training camp and the trades. That is the number one priority, is fixing that O-line and protecting Justin Herbert, our number one asset. Period. Number 2, we know what we have in Omarion Hampton when he's healthy. We now know what we have in Kimani Vidal. And correct me in the comment section, is it Vidal or Vidal? Because I always say Vidal, like, it sounds more natural to say it that way, but it might be Vidal, because that's how it's spelled. correct me in the comment section how you guys pronounce his name. But anyways, we now know what we have with Kamani. We know what we have with Oronde Gadsden and KLS and Trey Harris. More of our rookies that really shined this season. So our rookies had an absolute breakout season. Like, we nailed the draft so well. Like, it's so great getting this production out of guys that were not first and second stringers, or first round and second round draft picks, I should say. So heading into next season and seasons beyond this, like, this team is looking young, it's looking healthy, and it's looking very aggressive, especially with Omarion Hampton and Oronde Gadsden. So I'm really loving that. So that was good news, number 3. Number 4, look, we had a winning season despite everything, all of the injuries, all of the obstacles, all of the negativities. We still ended up at 11-6. Now, same record as last season, which is good in one sense, bad in another sense, because we're supposed to, keep improving, keep progressing forward. But again, despite the injuries, despite everything negative that kept happening to us, we still somehow made it and matched the record from last year. Amazing. This is with Herbert's broken hand, non-throwing hand, whatever. Still affects his game. This is with Najee going out. This is with Rashawn Slater going out, Joe Alt going out, Khalil Mack getting injured, Omarion Hampton. Did I mention Omarion already? I forget. But anyways, so many injuries. Just a plethora of injuries. Just ridiculous. Just at this point, it's almost comical. It's like a comic book how many injuries we had to endure. It's amazing that we made it to 11-6. It's amazing that we somehow still made it to the postseason. It's amazing that Justin was out there still being able to sling them, minus the last game in the postseason. We ain't gonna talk about that for too much longer, but he still did a wonderful job during the regular season, despite everything that happened. So that deserves applause. That deserves to be commended. That deserves all the praises in the world, because everyone counted us out. Most of us counted each other out. We counted them out. After a certain point, we're like, there's no way. There's no way we're going to win a Super Bowl like this. There's no way we're going to go anywhere in the postseason like this. And we still at least made it. We made it to the dance. So again, that is incredible. And that should not be forgotten. We had a great season. We only had 5 losses. And I said in previous videos, those 5 losses feel like so much more than what they actually were, because of a couple of times who we lost to. Well, yeah, like a couple of times who we lost to, including the Giants and the rookie Jackson Dart. Like, that was just embarrassing. Getting whooped by the Jaguars, that was embarrassing. Even though the Jaguars are a really good team this year. So it's not like they suck and they beat us. They're really good. They just beat our tails. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But we still had a stellar season, and we should remember that. All right, number 5, which is one of my favorites. No more stress. No more stress. I'm so happy that I ain't got to stress out about these football games. No, because it was stressful. It was rough. It was rough. I'm telling you, man. Like, I know y'all feel me when every time I seen Herbert go down, or every time I see him scramble, I'm just like, oh my God, please, do not get hurt. Do not get hurt. Do not get hurt. I was just waiting for an ankle to go that way, or for a head to snap back, bro. Just, oh my God. On pins and needles. On the edge of my seat. So I'm really happy that all that stress is over with and we get a little bit of a reprieve now, because that O-line is atrocious. So bad that we have to like cringe every time Herbert takes a snap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should not be that way. He was pressured and tackled more than any other quarterback in the NFL, I believe. Historically bad offensive line, bottom of the league, 31st, 32nd in each position. We had a guard, Mekhi Becton, who came from the Super Bowl winning Eagles and still had an unproductive season half the time. The other half the time he was injured. Ha! So I don't know what's going on with Mekhi Becton. I don't know. he said in the press briefing, I guess recently, that he was confused a lot of the times out there. So I don't know if it was an issue with his coaches or if it was just an issue with him. Either way, something needs to be done about it. Something needs to be done very quickly. And we're going to get to it. So no more stress. We get a little bit of a reprieve before, next season. And hopefully we don't have to stress next season. Hopefully they figure this stuff out so that we don't have to be on pins and needles every single time Herbert takes a snap.
Uh-huh.
All right. All right. Now, a few more here. Number 6, players come back. Players are coming back next season healthy. Like I said, Rashawn Slater's slated to return back. Joe Alt is supposed to come back. I don't know what's going on with Najee Harris. I hope he comes back, but we do still have Amarian, and we have Kimani, and we have Patterson. Again, I would like to see Najee Harris back, though, because he was just a guaranteed 3, 4, 5 yards, point blank, period. Like, every single time he runs, he gets those yardage, like, no matter what. Even a bad run, he's getting 3, 4 yards. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks to lose such a short thing like that, but that kind of injury is really tough. It's really tough. So we'll see what happens with that. Khalil Mack hopefully does not retire. There's a lot of talk about him retiring, but from what I've seen of him when they were asking him questions in the locker room, he doesn't seem like a person who's ready to retire. Not at all. He didn't present that kind of language. He said he's going to check the vibe with him and his family, but he was joking around a lot. He was laughing. Matter of fact, I think that was the lightest and the most, I guess, like, happiest interview that they conducted back there in the locker room between all the players that they interviewed. He was the one who was the most lighthearted and joking and smiling and laughing the most. So I honestly don't believe Khalil Mack is done. And as long as his performance stays up to par, as long as the Chargers will have him, which I believe Harbaugh and them are more than willing to keep him, I believe that Khalil Mack will stay. So with Khalil Mack staying, with the re-signing of certain players, with players getting healthy and coming back 100%, 2026 is going to be a hell of a year. And I'm super excited to see what happens. So 6 players coming back. Number 7, and this is probably my favorite, and I think it will be your favorite as well. Breaking news. This just happened yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't even remember, but Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers, has been fired. Not only that, but the offensive line coach, Mike Devlin, has been fired as well. When I say the Chargers are serious about cleaning house, they are serious about winning, they are serious about changing the narrative and the culture of the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers, I am for real. I am super serious. They are serious. They wasted no time after this loss to go ahead and give those 2 guys the boot. Because we've all been complaining about Greg Roman and his non-aspirational, non-inspiring offensive plays. Getting Herbert beat up, sacked the most out of any quarterback in the league, just not getting receivers open, not scheming up the right plays, not adjusting, at halftime, adjusting for the defense. One of the Patriots players came out, and I believe he was a defensive player, and he came out and said that one of the players on the offense told him that they had no idea what they were doing.
What?
They were confused out there. And if that's the case, again, this is what Mekhi Becton said, supposedly, that he was confused out there. And there had to be a reason why we had the worst O-line in the league ever. I guess go back to the coach, right? A capable and effective coach would be able to coach these players out of this, right? They would be able to at least get a level of adequacy out of these players, and it was more often than not way below adequate, way below inadequate, historically inadequate. So yes, Mike Devlin got the boot. And also, Greg Roman got the boot. Now, Greg Roman has been Jim Harbaugh's boy since their time in San Francisco. Also, I believe in college. And also, Greg Roman was with John Harbaugh at the Ravens before he was fired. So I have every bit of confidence in the world that the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers are serious about change. Coach Harbaugh even said during the press briefing after the loss to the Patriots that those that stay will be champions. Strong, strong words from the coach. And I believe him. I believe him. This is Coach Harbaugh's second year, going into his third year now. Now, usually in the second year is when things really come together for him and his team. But this is the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers we're talking about now. Our team has been cursed for years. Our team has been cursed for years, and it's really it's taken a lot. It's taken a toll on everyone who's ever been affiliated with them. So here we go. Third time's the charm. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Greg Roman, he's out of here. Mike Devlin's out of here. So we got 2 vacancies on our offensive line as far as coaching goes. And I hope they fill those spots with somebody who is up to the task. Now, different fans want different people. They're talking about Stefanski. I believe he's from the Browns, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Mike McDaniel from the Dolphins, who was just let go. And Mike Dable, I believe, from the Giants, who was fired. So there's some favorites amongst fans out there. Honestly, I don't have too much to say about it. I'm kind of indifferent because those were coaches that were fired.
What?
But at the same time, they were fired from the head coaching position, and they would be an offensive coordinator instead. We already have our head coach and Coach Harbaugh. That's not changing. So with this loss, I mean, we all knew something had to change, right? Coach Harbaugh wasn't going anywhere. Justin Herbert certainly wasn't going anywhere. Jesse Minter wasn't going anywhere, not by the Chargers' decision, only by his decision will he leave. So who does that leave? Well, we have the worst offensive line in the league. The offensive line coach has to go. He obviously is not up to the task. Now, apparently he's been in the league for, or has like 30 plus years of experience, but I guess there comes a time when, hey, you're just not getting the job done. We might need somebody else in this position. And of course, Greg Roman, he's been pissing off Charger fans since the beginning of him starting, basically. Ha! So, again, we had one of the most boring offenses in the league. Defenders knew exactly what we were doing. It wasn't fooling anybody. Charger fans had said that they were calling the play. They knew exactly what was going on in the field. So they knew the defenders knew. Like, it was just uninspiring and just unintelligent, and it was not working. So hopefully they get somebody who schemes up some really creative plays and not plays that passes to Quentin Johnston when he's like in the backfield. Like, can we not short pass it to Quentin Johnston when he's lined up on the side of Justin? He's not that kind of receiver, bro. Like, why are we doing that? Can we stop? Who told you Quentin Johnston was the best person to do that? He's downfield. He's a 50-50 ball type edge of the. Come on, man. Like, stop playing. Stop playing with me. All right? Man, that was frustrating. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit off track here, but there's one more piece of good news that I really want to say. And number 7, the firing of Greg Roman and Mike Devlin, that was number 1. That's the icing on the cake right there. We could stop right there, honestly. But, number 8, I mean, when it's all said and done, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, like, it could be a whole lot worse, right? Like we could be Raider fans. It's just, but we're not. We're Charger fans. You know what I'm saying? We bleed that yellow and blue. So be proud. We had a winning season. We made it to the playoffs. Yes, we got knocked out the first round, but at least we made it. We were one of a select few teams that made it to the playoffs. However many teams that made it to the playoffs. I think it was like, 7 teams, 7, 8 teams, something like that. They actually made it. The rest of everyone didn't even make it to the dance. So that's something to be proud of, man. I'm never going to stop being a Charger fan. Yeah, I have other teams that I enjoy watching, such as the Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys. That's my wife's team, really, So a few other teams I enjoy watching. But when it's all said and done, I'm a Charger fan, straight up. That is my number 1 team. That is the team I ride and die for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will never stop being a fan of the Chargers, and I will never stop having hope that this team will one day eventually make it to that Super Bowl and actually win it all. and shut all the haters up. Oh, I can't wait for that day. It's gonna taste so sweet. So sweet. But there we go. That's the good and the bad news in regards to this unfortunate loss to the New England Patriots by the San Diego Los Angeles Chargers. They beat us 16-3 in the AFC Wildcard playoff game. Chargers total yards were 207. Chargers took a total of 6 sacks. Patriots, we got them 5 times. No Way Oway got 3 sacks himself. So again, shout out to No Way Oway, Thule, Khalil Mack, Denzel Perriman, Tony Jefferson, Tarheeb Steele, Elijah Molden, the whole defensive squad, man. Shout out to the whole defensive squad. Y'all did y'all jobs, man. You know, there was a couple of turnovers like I described earlier. One of them we got back. Kimani ran it in for a first down. Another one, unfortunately, defenders got it. J Herb, 19 for 31. Pressured, mostly all of it. 159 yards. 0 touchdowns. 0 interceptions. 6-7. A 74.5 passer rating for Justin Herb. One of those kind of days. Drake May, on the other hand, 17 for 29 for 268 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So, unfortunately, we were unable to do anything with the turnovers that we were able to get. The defenders did everything in their power to win this game for us, and unfortunately, the offense did not show up to play. What else? Like I said, Marion had 2 snaps, about 1 or 2 snaps. Kimani had 11 carries for 31 yards, 2.8 yards per carry. So Kimani was probably one of the only highlights of the offense that I can think of, besides Cameron Dicker. Shout out Cameron Dicker, back to his true form, made the only points that we scored in that whole game, which was 3. But Cameron Dicker was on point. He came to play. He did his job. Kimani did what he could do. Amarian did what he could do. Unfortunately, he got pulled early, and his ankle's messed up, so don't want to mess him up for next season. And it just is what it is. So, it sucks that we lost. It sucks that we got to deal with another year of the BS, not Brandon Staley, but the actual bullshit talking from, sports pundits and Justin Herbert and Charger haters alike. But there's always next season, and I still feel confident that my San Diego Los Angeles Chargers will show up to play. Next season is the season. 2026 is the year that the rest of the league is going to be on notice. That they're going to have no other opportunity, no other alternative but to pay us our respects. Because when we win and we win and we win and we keep winning, that's the only alternative. So I'll leave you guys with that. All right? Love, peace, and light. Love more than you hate. And go Chargers, go Bolts. You can find me everywhere on social media as LB The Realist. I'll leave my information in the bio or in the description of the video. If this is on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get these numbers up. I'm trying to make sure that I keep continuous with the content heading into the off season as it regards to, the trades, the drafts, the preseason, training camp, etc., etc. And I think that's pretty much it. Like this video, comment your thoughts, share, and follow. And until next time, remember, go Bolts. And yeah, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. But we're going to remain positive, all right? We're going to remain positive. Because that's all we can do. All right, until next time, I'm hoping everyone has a lovely day. Go Chargers.